December 24th, 2023. Christmas Eve. The Johnson family had no idea that the scruffy German shepherd shivering outside their front door would become their guardian angel. This is Max, a stray who'd wandered the streets of Ohio for 3 weeks, but something drew him to this house, something the family couldn't understand. What you're about to witness is a true Christmas miracle that saved 4 lives, a story so incredible you might not believe it until you see the evidence. This dog knew something was wrong, something deadly, something that would have killed the entire Johnson family while they slept peacefully on Christmas morning. But Max wouldn't let that happen. He had a mission, a purpose, and nothing, not cold, not hunger, not fear, would stop him from protecting the family who showed him kindness. This is the story of how one abandoned dog became a hero, how a simple act of compassion created a miracle, and how Christmas Eve became the night that changed everything forever. In just 48 minutes, you'll discover how Max's incredible instincts detected a silent killer that could have claimed 4 innocent lives. You'll witness the moment a family's world changed forever, the night a stranger became a hero. But first, let's go back to where it all began. 3 weeks earlier, Max had a home, a family, a warm bed, until the day everything changed, until the day he found himself alone, abandoned, and fighting to survive on the streets. Little did anyone know Max possessed an extraordinary gift, a 6th sense that would soon prove invaluable. The Johnson family, Tom, Sarah, and their 2 children, Emma and Jake, were preparing for what they thought would be a quiet Christmas at home. They had no idea that fate was about to bring them together with a 4-legged angel. This is their story. This is Max's story. This is the story of a Christmas miracle that proves sometimes the most unexpected heroes come on 4 paws. Meet the Johnsons. Tom, a hard-working father juggling 2 jobs. Sarah, a devoted mum who loves baking and singing carols. Emma, age 10, a gentle soul who dreams of becoming a vet. And Jake, age 6, who believes every Christmas wish can come true. Their home is warm, filled with laughter and the scent of gingerbread. But this year there's a shadow. Last spring, their beloved dog Buddy passed away, leaving a silent ache in every corner. As Christmas approaches, Emma wishes on every star for a new friend. Outside, Max watches from the shadows, drawn to the light and love inside. He's hungry, cold, but something tells him to wait, to hope, to believe that this house is different, that maybe, just maybe, he's found where he belongs. As the Johnsons celebrate, Max roams the neighborhood. He noses through trash cans, dodges cars, and shivers beneath a porch. Flashbacks flicker. A little girl once hugged him, a warm bed, gentle hands. Now the world is cold and unkind, but Max keeps moving, led by something he can't explain. He circles back to the Johnsons' house, drawn by the smell of fresh cookies and the sound of laughter. He settles in the snow, tail tucked, eyes fixed on the glowing windows. Inside, Emma glances out, her eyes meeting Max's for a fleeting moment. She presses her hand to the glass, whispering, "Merry Christmas wherever you are." For a heartbeat, Max feels hope. On Christmas morning, Emma stepped outside to collect the mail and found Max curled up by the fence, her heart clenched at the sight of his matted fur and tired eyes. "Mum, there's a dog out here," Emma called. Sarah appeared with a dish towel in hand, assuming it was a neighbor's pet, but Max was clearly a stray. Skinny, dirty, yet his tail wagged faintly with hope. Emma knelt, gently holding out her hand. "Hi there, are you hungry?" Max cautiously approached, sniffed her fingers, then gave a gentle lick to her palm. It was a magical moment of connection. Sarah stood watching, remembering the pain Emma felt when Buddy passed away. "Mum, can I feed him?" Emma pleaded. Sarah nodded. They brought out leftover chicken and a bowl of water. Max ate greedily, but never took his eyes off Emma. A miracle was beginning, the bond that would one day save this entire family. The evening was cold and quiet when Hope appeared on their porch, her fur dusted with snowflakes. She didn't bark or whine, she simply sat, gazing at the Johnsons' front door as if she belonged there. Emma noticed her first, peering through the window with wide eyes. The family hesitated, unsure if she was lost or abandoned. But the look in Hope's eyes was unmistakable. She was searching for something, or maybe someone. Tom fetched a blanket and placed it outside, and Emma left a bowl of food. Hope wagged her tail but stayed put, never crossing the threshold. Emma couldn't sleep that night, her thoughts filled with the mysterious dog outside. She tiptoed to her window and saw Hope curled up on the blanket, eyes half closed but alert. In the morning, Emma hurried outside. Hope stood and wagged her tail, approaching slowly. Emma knelt, holding out her hand. Hope sniffed, then pressed her nose into Emma's palm, as if to say, "Thank you." The connection was instant, gentle, trusting, and deep. Sarah watched from the doorway, torn between concern and the joy she saw in her daughter's face. Tom and Sarah exchanged worried glances. They knew Emma's heart was fragile, still healing from losing Buddy months before. "Just for tonight," Tom said, but Emma's smile said she hoped for forever. They let Hope stay in the garage, but Hope wasn't interested. She lay outside Emma's window as if guarding her. That night, Emma slept soundly for the first time in weeks, comforted by the presence just beyond the glass. With each passing hour, Hope grew more attached to Emma. She followed her around the yard, watched her draw at the kitchen table, and waited patiently by the bathroom door. The neighbors began to notice the German shepherd, who never left Emma's side. Some wondered if Hope belonged to someone nearby, but no one came forward. For Emma, it felt like the universe had sent her a guardian angel. Hope's devotion became obvious. She refused to eat unless Emma was nearby, and she'd whine if Emma left the room. Tom tried coaxing Hope with treats, but she only had eyes for Emma. The family took her to the vet to check for a microchip. There was none. The vet said, "She's healthy, just a little underweight. Whoever she chooses is very lucky." Emma beamed, feeling chosen for the first time in a long while. Word spread quickly about the stray dog who'd adopted the Johnsons. Neighbors stopped by to pet her, bringing old toys and treats. Kids from down the street asked if they could walk her, but Hope only wanted to be with Emma. Sarah posted on local forums and checked lost dog flyers, but no one claimed Hope. It was as if she'd appeared just for them. Behind Emma's smiles, she hid a secret. Headaches that came and went, sometimes sharp enough to make her wince. She didn't want to worry her parents or ruin Christmas. Hope seemed to sense when the pain was coming. She'd nuzzle Emma's hand, rest her head on Emma's lap, and refuse to leave her side. The bond between them deepened, unspoken, but powerful. Hope's behavior grew more intense. She'd pace around Emma, bark softly when Emma winced, and even block the hallway when Emma tried to go upstairs alone. Tom joked, "She's your little bodyguard." But Sarah noticed the pattern. Hope's worry always came before Emma's headaches. It was as if Hope could sense something no one else could. While Emma was wrapping gifts for her family, a sudden wave of dizziness hit her. She staggered, nearly falling, but Hope quickly pressed against her side, using her body to steady the girl. Sarah rushed in at the sound of Hope's urgent barking. "Are you okay?" Sarah asked. Emma nodded, trying to hide her worry. Hope gently licked Emma's hand, refusing to leave her side. A mother's instinct kicked in. Something was wrong. Hope's behavior was too protective, too sensitive. That afternoon, Sarah decided to book a doctor's appointment for Emma after Christmas. The closer it got to Christmas Eve, the more alert Hope became. She followed Emma everywhere, from the bathroom to the bedroom, even sitting outside the bathroom door. When Emma helped her mum cook, Hope stood firmly between her and the hot stove. Tom laughed, saying Hope was overprotective, But Sarah began to truly worry. She searched on her phone. Can dogs detect illness? The thought sent a chill down her spine. At Christmas Eve dinner, Emma barely touched her food. She complained of feeling tired, her eyes lacking their usual sparkle. Hope lay under the table at her feet, occasionally letting out a soft whine. When Emma asked to go to her room early, Hope followed immediately. Tom and Sarah exchanged worried glances. "Maybe we should call the doctor tomorrow," Sarah whispered. But it was Christmas Eve. Every clinic was closed. They decided to keep a close watch on Emma and call first thing in the morning if needed. That night, Emma went to bed early. Hope refused to sleep in the living room as usual and instead lay right in front of Emma's bedroom door. Tom tried to call her downstairs, but she only whined and scratched gently at the door. "All right, you can stay," Tom said with a helpless smile. Hope curled up on the hallway floor, eyes wide open, alert, as if sensing that this night would be far from ordinary. The whole family fell asleep, except for Hope, who kept her watch. She listened to every breath Emma took through the door, sometimes steady, sometimes heavy. Around midnight, Hope's ears twitched as Emma began to stir, making small sounds of discomfort. Hope pressed her nose to the crack of the door, whining softly. She scratched at the wood, then sat back, as if debating whether to wake everyone. Instinct told her something was wrong with Emma. At exactly 2 a.m., the worst happened. Hope heard Emma's breathing grow rapid, followed by a faint thud. Emma had collapsed beside her bed, unconscious. Hope barked, no longer the gentle sound from before, but a desperate, urgent alarm that echoed through the house. She scratched furiously at the door, slammed her body against it, and let out a long, mournful howl. Within seconds, Tom and Sarah were awake. Tom rushed to Emma's room, finding his daughter unconscious on the floor. "Call 911!" he shouted to Sarah. Hope pushed her way in, licking Emma's face, whining without pause. Sarah's hands shook as she dialed for help. Hope lay across Emma's body as if to shield her. Minutes later, paramedics arrived. One of them said, "This dog saved her life." If you'd been just a few minutes later, it might have been too late. Hope had sensed the danger long before any human could. Emma was playing with Max in the yard when she suddenly clutched her head in sharp pain. Max rushed to her, whining in alarm. Sarah ran outside, scooping her daughter into her arms. Emma tried to reassure her. "It's just a little headache." But Max refused to leave her side, his eyes filled with worry. That night, Max lay beside her bed, sleepless, like a tiny guardian protecting Emma from the darkness. In the days that followed, Max stuck even closer to Emma. He refused to eat unless she was near, followed her step for step, and even lay outside the bathroom door waiting. Each time Emma was about to get a headache, Max grew restless, tugging her toward the couch to rest. The whole family began to notice Max seemed to sense her pain before it happened. Worry slowly turned to trust in this special warning. The family took Max to the vet to check his health and ask about his unusual behavior. Dr. Martinez explained, "Some dogs can sense chemical changes in a human's body, especially when they're sick." He told stories of dogs detecting cancer and seizures long before doctors could. Sarah and Tom began to fear. Was Emma facing something serious that only Max could detect? The family immediately took Emma to the children's hospital. Max was allowed in because Emma cried at the thought of leaving him. A neurologist ordered an MRI. The result, a small benign tumor in her brain that required surgery soon. The news left everyone stunned. Sarah hugged her daughter tightly. Tom's voice cracked. Max lay quietly beside Emma, his eyes full of worry, as if he understood everything. Emma was admitted for observation. She cried when told Max couldn't stay overnight. Touched by their bond, the doctor allowed Max to visit daily. Those short visits became Emma's biggest source of strength. Max would lick her hand, lie beside the bed and gaze at her with eyes that seemed to say, "You can do this." On the final night before the operation, Emma couldn't sleep. Max was allowed to stay, lying on the chair next to her bed. When she began to cry, Max jumped onto the bed, resting his head on her chest, as if to say, "I'm here." Sarah and Tom watched silently, tears streaming. Emma fell asleep in Max's embrace, while Max stayed awake, guarding her dreams. The next morning, Emma was wheeled into the operating room. Max tried to follow, barking softly as if to cheer her on. Sarah hugged him, whispering, "She'll be okay, thanks to you." In the waiting room, Max sat motionless, eyes fixed on the OR doors. Time felt painfully slow. The surgery lasted longer than expected. Max grew restless, whining and pacing. When the surgeon finally emerged, Max was the first to rush forward, tail wagging. The doctor smiled. The surgery was a success. Sarah cried tears of joy, hugging both Max and Tom. Max hurried into recovery, licking Emma's hand as she woke, eyes brimming with love. Emma awoke after treatment, her eyes hazy but filled with emotion when she saw Hope allowed into the room. She gave a weak smile and whispered, "Thank you for saving me." Hope gently climbed onto the bed, resting her head on Emma's hand, tail wagging furiously. The whole family burst into tears of joy. Doctors confirmed that Hope had sensed the danger even before medical equipment could. "No one expected a rescue dog to become a hero," Sarah told the nurse, her voice breaking. From that moment on, Hope was no longer a stray. She was an irreplaceable member of the family. On discharge day, Hope walked alongside Emma's wheelchair, always close enough to protect her. Once home, Hope inspected every corner of Emma's room, sniffing carefully like a true bodyguard. That first night, she lay right beside the bed, eyes never leaving Emmett. "From now on, we'll never be apart," Emma whispered, hugging Hope. Sarah stood quietly at the door, wiping away tears, knowing Hope had brought a miracle to their family. Hope was officially trained as a medical alert dog. Every morning she would check on Emma by sniffing and watching her closely. If she detected anything unusual, Hope would bark a special signal, one the whole family recognized. Emma returned to school with Hope by her side as a special companion. Curious classmates quickly grew fond of Hope. "She's not just my pet, she's my superhero," Emma proudly declared. Hope sat nearby, eyes always on Emma, ready to protect her. The story of Hope saving Emma spread through the community. The local TV station invited the two heroes on air. Hope was awarded the Hero Dog of the Year medal. Emma shared, "Hope taught me that miracles often appear in the most unexpected places." After the broadcast, many families visited rescue shelters, hoping to adopt dogs that had once been abandoned. Sarah said emotionally, "Just one small story can change the lives of so many people and pets." The family celebrated the day Hope came to us. Emma, now healthy and radiant, blew out candles with Hope by her side. "Thank you for saving me and for teaching me about unconditional love," Emma said, hugging her tightly. The whole family gathered around, laughter filling the room. Hope's coat was now glossy and her eyes shone with happiness. Tom and Sarah exchanged a knowing look. They had made the best decision of their lives by adopting her. Emma and Hope, along with their family, regularly visited rescue shelters to share their story and inspire the community. "Every dog can be a hero if given the chance," Emma told the children who came to listen. Hope lay calmly beside her, tail gently wagging whenever someone approached. Many other dogs found loving homes thanks to the miracle that Hope had sparked. Emma, now 12 and fully healthy, still had Hope as her constant companion. They strolled together under the golden afternoon sun. Emma whispered, "Maybe it was me who was rescued when I brought you home." Hope gave her hand a gentle lick, her eyes filled with love. Their story was a reminder. Sometimes the ones we save are the very ones who end up saving us. The sun set as Emma and Hope sat together on the backyard swing, the very spot where they first met. "Do you ever regret saving me that day?" Emma teased softly. Hope's tail thumped in answer, eyes locked on Emma's with pure devotion. In that quiet moment, it was clear neither would ever let go of the other.